The two parts of the rainy day. In the quiet town of Nkirika, two men lived lives that could not have been more different. Chukwudi was a poor man, born into a life where nothing came easily. He worked as a roadside carpenter, shaping broken pieces of wood into chairs and tables that people sometimes bought and sometimes ignored. His shirts were always faded, and his hands were rough, but his heart was steady. Every time he earned 10 naira, he kept 3 aside. People laughed at him. "Chukwudi, you save like you have millions," his friends teased. He would smile gently. "I am preparing for the rainy days," he always said. A man who plans will not drown when the storm comes. At night, he sat on the floor of his single-room house, counting his small savings with careful fingers. There was no electricity, so he used a kerosene lamp. The flame flickered softly on his tired face, but he looked peaceful. He was building something that could not be seen with eyes: security, hope, rest. Life remained hard, but he kept preparing. And then came the rainy season. Nkirika flooded. Shops closed. Many men who lived day to day had no food in their homes. Hunger knocked like an unwelcome guest. But Chukwudi opened his small wooden box where he kept his money. He bought food. He stayed calm. He even shared Gary with two neighbors who had mocked him before. You saved this much," they asked quietly, ashamed. "It is not how much," he said, smiling. "It is the discipline." And for the first time in his life, he felt rich, not in money, but in peace. On the other side of town lived Chief Kolechi, a wealthy man with a house so large it echoed when he walked. He wore fine clothes, drove the newest cars, and threw parties that lit up the whole street. People admired him. He always had money to spend, and he spent it with a careless joy. When someone warned him, "Chief, save something for tomorrow," he would laugh loudly. "What is tomorrow?" he asked. "Today is enough." Every weekend he celebrated something, whether it was his birthday or simply the joy of waking up. His friends surrounded him, eating his food, drinking his wine, praising him. But when the rainy season arrived, it came like a thief. A storm destroyed one of his big projects. Investors pulled back. Workers stopped showing up. Money began to melt away like ice in the sun. One morning, the bank called, and suddenly he had nothing. The friends disappeared first. Then the parties ended. Then the respect vanished. One night, Chief Kolechi sat alone in his wide, quiet house, staring at the walls that once echoed with music. Rain beat against the windows, and thunder shook the sky. His heart felt hollow. "How did everything finish so quickly?" he whispered. And he remembered the words people used to tell him: "Prepare for the rainy days." He covered his face with his hands and cried, not because of the lost money, but because of the lost time he could never get back. One cold, rainy afternoon, the former chief walked through town, searching for any work, anything at all. His clothes were no longer shiny. His pride had fallen away. He passed Chukwudi's workshop and paused. Chukwudi looked up, surprised but kind. "Chief Kolechi, are you all right?" The rich man swallowed hard. "I need work, my brother." The rains, they washed everything away. Chukwudi stood slowly and offered him a seat. "No man is too big to start again," he said gently. "Sit. You will learn carpentry. I will teach you." The chief blinked, shocked that a poor man he once ignored was now offering him hope. Together, they sat under the shade of an old mango tree. The rain fell softly around them. And in that moment, both men understood something deeper than wealth. A prepared heart is stronger than a full pocket. And a humble man can rise again.